progress.
The garbage that I hear, the lies, the hype, the myth, the complete misrepresentation that I hear around the vintage 58, 59, 60 Les Paul. It's astounding. It's literally the stuff of myth, legend. It's just not true. I'll give you an example. The the finish on the guitar. Let me see here if I can get this. The finish on the guitar. These are supposedly the best guitars ever made in the history of Gibson. The best guitars ever made in the history of Gibson. Gibson's never made a guitar that's as good as these. Never. And because of that, you're paying, $350,000, $400,000 for this guitar, 200,000 bucks. Now there is historical significance, right? But there's historical significance to a 54, right? A 55, a 56. There's historical significance to an ES 335. There's historical significance to a lot of guitars. But part of the myth of this guitar is it's the best sounding guitar in the world. It's the best guitar ever made. It's the best guitar ever made. Nobody's ever made a guitar better. This is it. Now, look at this guitar. Okay. I'm going to talk right now about the die they used in this guitar. Okay. Because one aspect to a guitar is the way it looks. The beauty of the guitar, and nothing, nothing's better than a 57, a 58, 59, 60. 50, I'm sorry, 58, 59, nothing's better. It's the most beautiful guitar ever made. Oh, look at it. See, the thing is, you would hear these things, right? I've heard them for decades, but you could never walk up to one and go, oh, go to your local shop and go, where's the 58? Where's the 58 Les Paul I can look at? Nobody had one. Nobody had one. That's another reason why this myth keeps perpetuating. But in the modern day, we have the YouTube where people are getting on there with their guitars and showing them off. And now we can see and we can hear these 58, these 59, these 60s ain't all they're cracked up to be, man. Okay. The dye that they use in this guitar to give it an appearance, right, of a sunburst, meaning it's lighter in the middle and it's darker in the edges, was inferior. It was I don't know what the chemical composition was. People do. People talk about it was a certain type of dye, but it faded almost immediately. So the best looking guitar, the best guitar ever made has a dye on it that fades out and is inferior. It fades from the guitar and it leaves this type of color. And now that's so beautiful. See, that's part of the myth in the brain. Well, now look out, but look what it faded into. Oh, look what that inferior dye faded into. It's so pretty. It's the best. It's the most prettiest finish ever on it. It's the best. They look so good. Well, Gibson decided, well, wait a minute. You think that looks good? Okay. Let's see here. What about this one? Okay, you think a faded die, you think an inferior die that's faded looks good. Okay, we can imitate that. Now, are you okay? Look, another thing that you look for when you're looking for the appearance of a guitar is the flame. There's a flame. There's supposedly this is a maple top guitar. Okay, the 58, 59, 60 were maple top guitars. That means they put a piece of maple on the top. The body's mahogany, and they put a piece of maple on top of it. And that maple is part of what gives it the appearance. And in within the maple, there's a flame. There's a pattern in there that's commonly called a flame. This one right here has it more. See that? Those little flames there. That's the flame of the guitar. So theoretically, now, if you were just judging this guitar not based on the fact that it's a 58 or in this case 1960, and you just looked at the top, you'd say, well, it's okay. It's okay. It's got a little bit of flame in it, decent color. It hasn't really faded that far. Pretty decent color. On this one, you'd say, well, if you weren't judging this as a 59, if you nobody told you this was a 59 and you looked at it, you'd say, well, yeah, the color's faded out on it, and the flame is a little bit right here, a little bit, not really that great. Look at the grain going up, and it's not really that great. Mm. Now compare these, right? Compare these best guitars ever made. Compare them to this. This was made in 2023, last year. Look at the color of this guitar compared to this guitar. Look at the flame on this guitar compared to this guitar. Now, if you're judging a guitar on the flame and you're saying that the flame top improves the look of a guitar, are you going to tell me you're going to, if you had a blind test and you were not told this is a 58, you were not told this was a 59, you were just told, look at this Gibson right here and look at this Gibson, which one do you think looks better? If you weren't brainwashed into believing somehow this guitar was the best guitar ever made, and you looked at it compared to this one, what would you say? Compared to this one, if you were not told this is a 1960 and it was $250,000, what would you say against this one? I'm guessing minimum 90 people out of 100 would say this one looks better. Minimum. Minimum 95 people out of 100 would say this one looks better than this one. And someone might actually go, well, you know what? I like this one better. I actually just because it's a little bit more toned down and it's not so in your face. And I would actually play this guitar. But I got to say, if you were judging it on flame, this one's got a lot more in it. And there might be somebody just go, well, I think this just looks better. Period. That's it. And that's fine. Like, I don't care. But don't tell me this is the greatest guitar ever made. This is the only time this guitar is. This is it. This is nothing can compare to this. Nothing. Zero. Nothing can compare to this guitar. Here's the 1993. Look at that. Look at the one with the color on it right here. Look at this. And look at this color. I mean, in terms of flame, it's not really even close. In terms of color, this one's closer. But once again, it's faded because the die is inferior. So the inferior die has faded, and this one is superior die, so it's held its color, and it's going to hold its color. Look at this one. This is I can't remember what year we got this one. 2016. Look at this one. Look at the flame on that one. Trying to figure out if he holds it up here. Look at the flame on it. Oh, there he is. Look at the flame on it. Look at that. You're telling me that is not better looking than that? Or that? Come on, man. Of course it's better looking. Any one of these three guitars, which are made in the modern day, are better looking than these two guitars, in my opinion. Based in if you just went based upon the fact that people look at the color and look at the flame and then judge. Gibson does it too. They have a triple A top flame, they have a double A top flame, they have a regular flame top, and it's priced more for a triple A flame top. So a top like this may be rated double A, and then another top like this may be rated triple A, and they charge more for it. So somehow it's priced, and it's almost completely non-existent in this guitar. And in this guitar, it's barely there. So you're going to tell me this and this is better than this in terms of finishes, because this was the greatest guitar ever made, 1959 Les Paul. That's it. See, it's just, once again, it's just this 1959, 56, 58, 60, it's just filled with mythology, complete mythology. And I'm going to go through piece by piece of this guitar. This one is a little bit about the finish. I'm going to go through this tailpiece. I'm going to go through the bridge. I'm going to go through the knobs. I'm going to go through all that stuff. And I'm going to show you in reality if a 59 really is the best guitar ever made. We're going to find out.